Hi, Miguel Krakenenden here, back with another Naruto vlog. Today we're doing Volume 9, Neji vs. Hinata, and the title pretty much says one of the things that's going to happen in this volume. So, and I made the joke with one of my friends, like, if someone with a Byakugan faces off with another person with a Byakugan, I could make the joke, like, Byakugan Brawl, you know? Little Bakugan reference for anyone who didn't get it. But anyway, so we finished the battle between Sakura and Ino at the beginning of the volume, and I gotta say it was kind of anticlimactic, because it ends in a draw. They actually knock each other out at the same time. But first we see what happened to Sakura after Ino possessed her. In the previous volume, Ino managed to trap Sakura in her own in the cut hair that she had lying around on the floor that she channeled her into which she channeled her chakra, and that gave her a very easy target to hit with her possession jutsu thing. And Sakura actually, we finally get to see inner Sakura have actually a shining action moment, which I was not expecting. I appreciate that. I like, we've seen inner Sakura before, but it was just a means of showing how Sakura's how the way Sakura presents herself is very different from how she feels inside. And inner Sakura actually plays a role here in that she actually manages to defeat Ino's spirit within her body and force her back into Ino's body, which is very interesting. Like, that's an interesting way to utilize that specific element of Sakura's character. But again, they do knock each other out at the same time, so neither of them move on to the next part of a tournament, which is kind of annoying. It's kind of anticlimactic. I was really hoping for a defining character moment for both of them. In that, I get that as rivals they have to be at some in one way or another equally matched. But like, I was hoping if Sakura won, then she would have proven, okay, I have grown a lot since we first started feuding over Sasuke. But if she lost, then it would be like, okay, I still have a lot of growth to do. I'll meet you again later. That would also have been a very defining moment for them to be equally matched. It didn't feel. It didn't feel satisfactory to me. It didn't feel like there was much you could go off of. Like, it didn't feel like anything had changed. Not that we even knew much about Ino and Sakura's rivalry up until this arc. So it was very annoying for me. Well, not very annoying. It didn't kill the manga, but it did. It did kind of disappoint me a little bit. Now, we do get this very nice scene between the two of them. They have taken their ninja headbands off of their foreheads. By the way, Sakura is holding her hair back again. I think Ino has her on her arm. So like, some kind of symbolism regarding how, like, they're not ready to be fully fledged ninja yet. Despite the fact that they were able to face each other, or something of the sort. I'm not really sure if they're ever going to put their headbands back on their foreheads. Personally, I kind of like Sakura's look with the headband on her forehead, but, you know, personal preference. Anyway, we also have this fight between Hinata and Neji, which happens to... It turns out that Hinata and Neji, despite they share the Hyuga clan name, but they're not siblings. Neji is it's kind of, the Hyuga family is one of the oldest and most distinguished families of Konohagakure village, which means that they have their own specific fighting style that's very taijutsu focused, but it's a special form of taijutsu that focuses on targeting the vital organs and the chakra of the opponent, rather than simply brute force of the type that Rock Lee and Might Guy use. So, with that being said, because it's such an old and distinguished family, there is a main clan and there is a sort of support clan, or a cadet branch of the family. Kind of like the how the phase work in Ace Attorney. If anyone has seen that, there's a main branch and there's a cadet branch, and it turns out that Hinata is part of the main branch, despite apparently being considered very incompetent, even by her own family, due to her. Due to her timidness, her lack of confidence in herself, which actually Neji actually plays into. He tries to he tries to psych Hinata out during their fight by saying, like, you can't change who you are. You're always going to be a failure, and or you're always going to be you're never going to have that confidence in yourself. You might as well just give up before I actually hurt you. And I gotta say, after learning more about who Neji is in this in this volume, I kind of hate him. So far, like, of all the characters in this series, Neji is the one that I actually end up disliking a lot, just because of that one thing that he says. That one thing, like, you can't change who you are. You're always going to be like a failure, or or you're never going to be confident in yourself. You're never going to believe in yourself. That's just who you are. I can't change that. You can't change that. I don't know. That mindset really infuriates me in for some reason. And he said something along the same lines, along the same vein, to Naruto at one point, and Naruto gets extremely infuriated by it as well. But Neji and Hinata fight, and Hinata is no match for her cousin, purely because he utilizes the Byakugan, the eye, to visualize the points, the very specific points in her body where chakra is unleashed, and he utilizes that to restrict her chakra flow, to sort of to very much restrict the abilities that she can use by controlling her chakra. But Hinata, despite being constantly told, give up, withdraw, she, and no matter how much she is hurt, how much her organs are damaged, she continually gets up, and she continually tries to fight, and Naruto is cheering her on from the sidelines, which is really, it's really touching to see these two, to see Hinata draw strength from Naruto, and Hinata has this really, really great. We look into Hinata's thoughts, and we see that she is very proud of herself. She has always watched Naruto. She has seen him. She's seen him in class. She's seen him grow as a ninja ever since becoming a genin. She's always watching him, and she's always watching him grow. But now it's Naruto's turn to watch her, and he is really, like, cheering for her to succeed, and that's what gives her the passion to keep fighting. She ultimately loses. The referee ends up saying, like, okay, well, you can't fight anymore. You are very much hurt. You are going to die if you continue going. I'm going to stop this right here. And which makes me sad. This is the type of thing that I wish I'd seen more from Sakura and Ino. Like, there is a definitive winner in the match, but it's still a character-defining moment for the loser. I really, really like seeing Hinata consider herself still a success because Naruto's there. Naruto's support is what keeps her going. And I really like seeing that about her. But that said, again, I still wish we had known the history of her clan, in addition to her infatuation with Naruto, a lot longer, a lot way before we reach this volume, because it seems to come out of nowhere. Suddenly, I feel like I'm being forced to care, and I do care. I just don't care in the way that the backstory is trying to get me to care. I feel like if I had known this backstory a lot, way before this volume, I would have been much more emotionally invested in this fight. But anyway, again, like, that's that's a problem that I feel is very prominent with this tournament arc. We also see Naruto take on Kiba, and unsurprisingly, Naruto wins. But actually, the way that Naruto wins is actually really hilarious. So Kiba and Akamaru, Kiba has this ability to basically take on the traits of Akamaru in that he is able to gain beast-like speed. His sense of smell is heightened to like tens of thousands, to a degree tens of thousands better than a regular sense of smell. And that gives him very beast-like qualities that he's able to take on Naruto very easily with that. But what Naruto actually uses this to his advantage. At some point, Akamaru transforms into a doppelganger of Kiba. Naruto very cleverly transforms into Kiba, and at this point, I kind of knew what his plan was, to transform into Kiba and try fool Kiba into thinking he had just hit Akamaru in disguise when it was actually Naruto. So Kiba would then in turn hit the other Kiba, who is the real Akamaru, and then Naruto would use that to his advantage. Naruto actually displays a lot of clever thinking throughout this fight. There is one moment, and it's very hilarious. So since Kiba's heightened sense of smell is one of the things that gives him power, he attempts to attack Naruto from behind as Naruto is performing this jutsu that he was practicing. And Naruto, he does not, I don't think he means to do this. It's never clear, but I'm pretty sure he did not mean to do this. He farts right into Kiba, right into Kiba's face, and his heightened sense of smell actually makes that fart tens of thousands of times worse. So it's actually like physically painful for him to smell that. And I don't know why I found that hilarious, but it just was. It was in character with Naruto, and I don't know how you managed to make, because it seems pathetic, but like in the context of the fight, it makes sense. It makes sense why it would be such a big deal. Naruto ends up using the Shadow Clone Jutsu because, of course, he doesn't seem to know anything else, honestly. But he uses a Shadow Clone Jutsu to duplicate himself, and he actually copies a bit of the Lotus technique that Sasuke used and Rock Lee used, in that he and his fellow clones kick Kiba up into the air, and then Naruto comes and smashes him downwards, and that's what wins the fight. The great moments seeing Naruto like never like give in to the pressure. It was also great seeing how Naruto's peers and the Jonin, the upper level ninja, Kakashi, even the Lord Hokage, they see how Naruto has progressed within the past, I don't know how long it's been, but, they see how far Naruto's come, and they're very impressed, and it's very gratifying seeing them, like, acknowledge how far Naruto has come up to this point. So, it looks like in the next chapter, oh, by the way, one of the Sand Village people, one of Gaara's siblings, I believe it was Temari, went up against another member, another ninja. I forget who it was. I think it was... I don't remember exactly who it was. But anyway, whoever it was, they lost. We didn't even see the fight. That's how unforgettable it was. Our attention was distracted elsewhere, and then when we look back, oh, Temari's already won. Okay, cool. The Sand Village people are, they're no joke. But it looks like Gaara is going to go up against Rock Lee in the next volume. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. We're not even past the preliminaries. We really want to get to the main event. So this volume just covered a lot of the preliminaries. I'm really excited to see Gaara face off against Rock Lee. I'm pretty sure Gaara's going to win. We saw how powerful Gaara was in the past couple volumes. Despite the fact that Rock Lee is very powerful himself, I think Gaara can definitely trump him. Gaara is also very bloodthirsty, so he's probably going to absolutely decimate Rock Lee. But who knows? Who knows? Rock Lee might pull something extremely, very might pull a surprise on us. 1010. 1010, I think, was the person who Temari ended up absolutely wrecking. But anyway, so that said, we are done with this book, and we are going to move on to this one, and I will see you next time for Volume 10.